Good day, students. Today, let's discuss the answers of lesson number 7 of your 12th standard Say Chic French textbook. The first exercise, they want you to construct the sentence with the given elements using the relative pronouns. They have given you an example. These are the boys who have lost their money. All right. So let's discuss the first sentence. It says here, it's the girl who has spent 5,000 rupees. So you're going to start off with the expression C apostrophe EST followed by la fille, which is already given in the question. So if it's in the singular form, you're going to make use of the expression C apostrophe EST. If it's going to be in the plural form, like for example, the second sentence and the last sentence, you can see les femmes and les statues. All right, these are all plural, so you would begin with CES20, so song. Right, so it's the girl, you would say c'est la fille for the first one, followed by the relative pronoun QUI, and then followed by the passé composé. So you're using the avoir conjugation a followed by the past participle dépenser, meaning spent, and the remaining sentence 5,000 rupees. So the translation would be, it's the girl who has spent 5,000 rupees. The next one, these are the women who have visited Taj Mahal thrice. So again, we are using CESONT. Why? Because the subject is in the plural, les femmes, followed by QUI, the relative pronoun, and then followed by the passé composé ONT. Now because it's in the plural, so the corresponding avoir conjugation is in the ONT form, followed by the past participle visiter. So basically you're cutting the ER and putting E acute to form the past participle. Third one, you are going to say it's Manu Singh who sent 100 messages. So again, C apostrophe EST because Manu Singh is in the singular, followed by the relative pronoun QUI, and then you have the avoir conjugation, which is are, and then you're putting the past participle EON acute, basically cutting the ER and putting E acute and the remaining sentence. Now the last two, if you notice, we are not using the expression the relative pronoun QUI. We are using the relative pronoun QUE. All right. So whenever it's going to be a verb, for the first three you can see the verb coming, all right, appearing first. You can see dépenser, visiter, envoyer. At that time, remember, before the verb, you're going to use the relative pronoun QUI. Otherwise, you're going to use QUE. So this, if you see the last two, you will see here the noun which is painter. So before painter, you're going to use QUE, and before artist, you're going to use QUE, because these are not verbs, these are nouns. So that way you remember what you have to use, whether QUI or QUE. So to form the answer for the fourth one, it's the technique that the painter has invented. So you're putting it's the technique, C apostrophe EST, because technique is singular, la technique, followed by QUE, which is the relative pronoun, followed by the noun, the painter, followed by the avoir conjugation a, and followed by the past participle INVENTE acute. And now you can see an additional E is also added here, because whenever we use the QUE, remember this past participle must agree with the noun that it talks about. So here we are talking about la technique, which is feminine singular. So therefore, since it's feminine singular, you're adding in additionally. It's the technique that the painter has invented. So this technique acts as the direct object, and then you have to make the agreement here. So this happens only with QUE. All right. The next one, you're going to say these are the statues that the artist has sculpted or carved. So here you are saying ce sont, because statues is plural, followed by the relative pronoun QUE, followed by the noun artiste, and then the avoir conjugation are, and then you can see the past participle SCULPT acute. Now why am I adding an additional ES? Because statues is feminine plural, so therefore you add an additional ES. That's all for this exercise. The next exercise, they want you to complete the sentences with either QUI or QUE. So remember, as I told you earlier, before the verb, you're going to use QUI. Otherwise, before the subject pronoun in this exercise, you're going to use QUE. So here the first one is Joue. All right, look at this boy who plays the guitar well. Joue is a verb, so I'm putting Qui. The second one, the sandwiches that you have prepared are delicious. So tu is a subject pronoun and not a verb, so therefore you're putting Que. The next one, where is the student who is searching for me or looking out for me? So again here chercher is a verb, so you're using Qui. Show me the disk that you want to take. So again tu, so you're putting Que. Answer the phone which is ringing. So again SONNE is a verb, so Qui. Basically in this exercise, if you see tu, put Qui, otherwise put Qui. The third one, they want you to complete with either DONT or OU graph. So remember in this exercise where it says, the second one where it says, it's the city where I was born. So when we are talking about a particular place, we can go ahead and use OU graph where. So it's a city where I was born. All right, balance everything else. You can use DONT. And for the fourth one, actually, you cannot use DONT or OU graph. You have to use QUV. But you don't have to worry too much about that. Just at least remember the second one, which is OU graph. Okay, meaning where. Moving on to the fourth exercise. Let's see what the fourth one. So the fourth exercise, they want you to make sentences with the given elements. They're giving you an example. So they're giving you the subject, they're giving you a noun, and then they're giving you a verb. So you're going to construct the sentences based on this example. So the first one, they're using the expression C''est. So it's the cafe where I used to enjoy, where I was enjoying. So you're putting the expression C''est, then the second part of the sentence, le café, then you're putting the relative pronoun where, OU graph, then the subject, that is the first part of the sentence, JE, and then the last part, the verb, you are conjugating it in the imparfait form. All right, so that's the formation. So similarly, you have to follow this example and convert these sentences as well. So again, it's the school where you used to go. So C''est followed by the second part of the sentence, followed by OU graph, the relative pronoun, and then followed by tu, which is the first part of the sentence, and then followed by the conjugation of the verb aller. So basically, remember, you're putting the expression C''est for each of the sentences. Then the second part of the the question, you're putting it first, then followed by the OU graph, which is constant, and followed by the first part of the sentence, which is tu in this case, and then followed by the imparfait formation of the given verb. So look at the next one. It says, is the office where you used to work. So say followed by le bureau, the second part, followed by OU graph, followed by VOUS, which is the first part, and then this travailler you're converting into the imparfait form. For vous, the ending for imparfait ending is IEZ. So you're cutting ER, IEZ. The third one, again, this is the restaurant where we used to eat. So again, say followed by le restaurant, the second part, followed by OU graph, and followed by the first part of the sentence, NOUS, cut ER, put IONS. The next one is the shop where he used to buy all his clothes. So again, C''est followed by the second part of the sentence, followed by OU graph, followed by the first part, IL. Conjugate this in the imparfait, so cut ER, add EIT. Last one, it's the park where they used to play. So again, say followed by le park, the second part, followed by OU graph, followed by the first part, ELLES. Cut ER here and add AIENT. The fifth one is even more simpler. They want you to combine the two sentences with DONT. All right, they have given you an example. All right, so instead of the full stop, you're going to put DONT. All right, and then this possessive adjective, you change it to the definite article. So you can see here SON is becoming LE here. All right, that's all you do. So replace the full stop with DONT, replace the possessive adjective with the definite article. So similarly, in each of these sentences, all right, so you can see instead of full stop, I'm putting DONT, replace this possessive adjective with the definite article. So you can see SA becoming LA. So join it with DONT, replace the possessive adjective with the definite article. Similarly here, replace the full stop with DONT, change the possessive adjective to the definite article. So SCS becomes LES. Similarly here, DONT, change SCS to LES. Again here, DONT, change SA to LA. Again here DONT, change SA to LA. Very simple. Alright, the next one, the seventh exercise, they want you to replace the direct object pronouns and make the required changes. So the first one says the customer or the client has created the problems. So here the noun is the problems, and you're going to say the customer has created them. So you're replacing the problems with LES, and problems is masculine plural, so therefore you have an additional S to the past participle. Alright. So when the direct object comes before the verb, remember that the agreement needs to take place with the past participle. So this S is added because this LES is masculine plural. I have, the second one, I have observed the cellular structure. You're going to say I have observed it. So you're going to replace the cellular structure with LA, but because A is a vowel, LA becomes L apostrophe, and this one is feminine singular, therefore we are adding an additional E here. The next one, we have found the residences. Now this one is feminine plural, so we have found them, so we put LES and add an additional ES here. Fourth one, the family has cleansed the house, the family cleansed it. So you have to replace la maison with LA actually, but A is a vowel, so L apostrophe, and house is feminine singular, so therefore you add an additional E here. The next one, I have met my classmates again, I have met them again, so you put LES, alright, so you're replacing my classmates with LES, and then because it's in the plural, you're adding an additional S here. That's all for the seventh one. Eighth one, they want you to complete the sentences making use of the passé composé. Alright, so all these are reflexive verbs, alright, which is there in the bracket. So what is the reflexive verb? When the action takes place towards the subject, we call it as the reflexive verb. So remember, for the reflexive formation in the passé composé, you would have the the reflexive pronoun followed by the être verb. So all reflexive verb will always use être verb in the passé composé. So you have the reflexive pronoun and the être verb conjugation in the present tense followed by the past participle. So the first one says it's I who got up the first. So again here you can see la première. So it indicates that the subject is the feminine. That's why we are adding an additional E here. Cut ER, add E acute and an additional E. So when I talk about moi, the corresponding reflexive pronoun is ME. And this is the être verb conjugation SUIS followed by the past participle. The next one, Louis. When I say Louis, we are talking about he. Alright. So the corresponding reflexive pronoun here is S apostrophe followed by the être verb conjugation EST. Cut the ER, add E acute. The third one, for toi, the corresponding reflexive pronoun is T apostrophe followed by the expression ES. So basically you're using the tu form of the être verb here. The T apostrophe ES followed by the past participle. So you cut ER and add E acute. The fourth one, it's ELLE, and again the reflexive pronoun is similar to the Louis. So S apostrophe, again être verb EST, cut ER, add E acute. Now here the subject is she. So whenever you use être verb, the past participle has to agree with the subject. So that's why an additional E is added here. The next one is VOUS, so the reflexive pronoun is VOUS followed by the être verb conjugation E circumflex TES, cut ER, add E acute, right? So just remember there are three parts to this answer. One is the reflexive pronoun, one is the être verb conjugation in the present tense, one is the past participle. Wherever there is a change, make sure you put a change. So here you have an additional E, an additional E here, alright? And then remember the reflexive pronouns and the present tense conjugation of être. And that's all for this eighth one. Let's see what is the ninth exercise. The ninth exercise, they want you to replace the nouns with pronouns Y or EN. Alright. So basically when you, in this exercise, when you see some kind of a quantity coming up, or if it's going to be something about something or of something, at that time you make use of pronoun en. When they are going to indicate a place and say like, enter the hall, stay in the office, at that time stay there, enter there, at that time you can make use of pronoun Y. So the first one says speak about the music concert or speak of the music concert. So again I'm having of followed by a noun, therefore I'm making use of pronoun en. Take some chocolate bars, quantity. So when I want to express quantity, I can replace with pronoun en. Look at the next one. Enter into the hall, or enter the hall, please. So I'm saying enter there, please. All right. So therefore, I'm using while. All right, to indicate at that particular place. Stay in the office. All right. So stay there. Again, a place there. So therefore, I'm using pronoun while. Last one, eat some apples. Some apples, quantity. So I'm making use of pronoun eat. 10th exercise, they want you to frame questions with the given answers which are here. So the first one says, I have cut it, and you can see the additional E. So the it needs to be something which is in the feminine. So therefore, I given the frame the question as, did you cut the apple? As-tu coupé la pomme? The next one, she bought 4 eggs. So how many eggs did she buy? And don't forget to make the agreement to the past participle. Okay. So how many eggs, plural? So you're adding an additional S. I have spent a week at Quebec. So where did you spend 1 week, or where have you spent 1 week? So I have spent 1 week in Quebec. Yes, he is going to speak to him or to her. So is she going to speak to his friend? So is he going to speak to his friend? Yes, he is going to speak to him. No, this place is not far. Is this place far? So basically, you're just framing questions with the answers given. Last one is just match the following. So I'll just quickly translate them for you. First one, qui ne dit mot consent, meaning silent gives consent. Second one, qui ne risque rien n'a rien, meaning no pain, no gain. Third one, qui veut peu, where there's a will, there's a way. Qui donne aux pauvres prête à Dieu, charity is rewarded in heaven. And the last one, qui vivra verra, meaning who will live to see. That's all for now, and I'll meet you guys in the next session. All right, thank you and have a nice day. Bye-bye.